up mga yaw-yawers? It's your boy Echo and welcome to BYY Podcast episode number 6. Siyempre kasama kong yayaw-yaw si Beshi May Alex. Kamusta Beshi?
Kamusta guys? Welcome back. Welcome back after 1 week na wala. Holiday season, we're back.
Yes,
So,
sir.
ano bang plano natin today? 2 linggo tayong wala. Anong trip natin?
Kaya nga eh. Well, technically, eto magpa-podcast na naman tayo. Lulukoy na naman natin yung sarili natin. Pero at least we got a break from last week kahit papaano, 'di ba? Kasi even if it's only our sixth episode, medyo sunod-sunod 'yan, weekly natin ginagawa yun eh. So it's nice to
Mm.
spend time with our families as well, 'di ba?
Yep.
Kahit papaano.
Yep, I agree.
All right. Podcast is supported by Rule of Law. So check nyo yung page niya tuwing Tuesday mornings for your MTG single needs. Kahit anong format pa yan, meron yan. Rule of Law number 1. And also may bago din siyang product which is the first ever Rule of Law 3D printed deck box. So it's a collaboration of Rule of Law and Exit Through the Grift Shop. So available siya for triple sleeves, double sleeves, and you can check the description page below, okay? Nasa description page yung details ng deck box and everything. So ano nga
Oh,
ba ang
solid yun.
topic? Yeah, sorry. Ano nga ba topic natin for this week, Beshi Bay?
Ang topic natin for today is just my preparation for the TGE Boiler event this Sunday. So,
Ooh.
as we've discussed, I think, from the past episodes na I've been playing the tournaments for Toxic Gaming events. So, their upcoming invitational is this coming week, November 17, if I'm not mistaken,
Mhm.
or next Sunday. And to tell you honestly, medyo hindi pa ako sure kung ano yung gagamitin ko. So,
Bakit naman? Ano bang
alam mo, may
tutulak sa'yo
identity
ba?
crisis ako, may identity crisis ako, bro.
Sabagay. Okay.
So,
Well,
we'll, we'll be discussing more about the decks that I might play, and then my prep for this upcoming tournament. So, yun,
okay.
Beshi May. Saan ba
Alright.
natin simulan to? Saan ba natin simulan to?
So, as far as I know, so if we're talking about 2 CEDH decks, pero yung mga decks mo na pang-casual, which is yung Orbar, yung ano mo, Gitrog,
Mm.
'di ba? So you have 2 CEDH
Mm.
decks, right? Which is Skinan and Sisay.
Well,
So,
technically I have 3.
oh, you have three.
I
Oo
still
nga
do have
pala.
rogues I built
Mm.
as no proxy, pero parang after testing that before our tournament, yung tournament natin 6750,
Oo.
parang I think I'm leaning towards Kenan and Sisay talaga. So, yun talaga yung
Okay.
dalawang main decks ko.
Alright, so since may identity crisis ka, sabi mo, let's go ahead and talk about those 2 decks. Then, probably let's check the pros and cons. Then afterwards, again, sana after nitong episode natin, makapag-decide ka. Then, yun na lang yung gamitin mo, bahala ka sa buhay mo.
Yan tayo eh. Dapat may ano ka din
Hindi,
dito. Meron
yun
ka
na,
ding
ano ka ba, yun na
para
yung
pag natalo ako, dalawa tayong magkasalanan. Hindi
wag mo
lang
nga kayo
ako. May
damay,
karama.
hindi nga ako kasali sa boiler, dadamay mo pa ako sa talo. I have my own
Ah,
battles to fight, okay?
akala ko kampi tayo. Ito naman eh.
Okay. Okay, let's start with your, siguro yung seaside deck kasi mas lagi ko 'tong nakakalaban ata. Naalala ko lang
Okay.
kasi dati yung Keenan, may backstory ako diyan. Pero dito muna tayo sa seaside mo. So,
Alright, sige.
I have your deck list pulled up right now
Oo.
and,
So guys, for the ones that are listening, I'll put up, or the ones that are watching, I will put up the deck list on the description of this video so that you can follow through the discussions. And if you have any suggestions or any opinions about the 2 decks, please feel free to comment, or so that we can add that to our discussion. So
pass lang
shout out
tayo.
lang sa mga nanonood sa atin. Pare ko, shout out mo nga yung mga
Ah,
nanonood ngayon.
shoutouts na pala sa mga 6750 folks na nanonood live. So, we have Eric, John Francis, our supreme leader, Lawrence. We have Boss Reg and Art. And I'm not really sure who
JJ.
the
We have JJ.
JJ.
JJ sa the one that we played with last Saturday. He comes
Oh
to our
yeah.
6750 recently.
Mm.
We actually played with him in Nook. Pare koy, thank you for joining. Welcome.
Welcome po, welcome. So yun na, ano ba masasabi mo dito sa ano, sisay mo? I do have some things that I noticed na may mga bago, but I want you to tell me what's going on.
Sa'kin kasi identity crisis ako, eh.
I saw something, pero ano.
Alright, sige. I'll start with ano 'no, sige, I'll start with the history of this deck 'no. So, I
Mm,
think, this is my most, I think winning deck. I think in the last tournaments that I've been playing and even in the TGE tournaments and our tournaments, this is my most played deck.
mm,
And I've been in love with Sese ever since I built it. Kaso there's a caveat to that last September. One of the biggest cards for this deck was banned, which is Dockside. Uh
yes.
And after that, I've been brewing it a lot. Actually, I've been putting out pieces. I think at some point may ano pa ako, Oryok Bomber line pa ako dito para lang eh, just
Mm,
to compensate. And I brought it to a tournament, a really small tournament for TGE, and it actually won. So parang it had gained confidence of me using it. Pero on our playtesting, hirap na hirap ako manalo. So parang, oh my God, oh my God. And I've been struggling with it recently. Pero
mm,
in EDH Top 16, I've seen conversion rates are really good for the deck still. There are a few changes that I've made. Ano bang napansin mo? Ikaw, I've been playing with you, pare ko. Ano bang, I posted the new deck list.
mm.
What do you think? Anong nakikita mo ba?
Well, definitely, tapos na nga tayo diyan sa ban list and stuff, right? So, I do see here na medyo dinamihan mo yung, parang interaction suites mo. Not that free counter spells and et cetera, ha. So, kasi chineck ko din yung history mo, eh. There was a time here na naglagay ka ng Strict Serenade, but you removed it, right? No.
Parang recently ko lang
Uh,
ginawa yun.
about 2 hours ago.
That's true.
So,
That's true. So, actually, if makita
mm,
mo sa ano, sa listahan ko,
mm,
I used to have Legolas Quick Reflexes, then I took it out, and then I put it
mm,
back in.
mm,
So, as I was gold fishing kasi, I realized na while Strict Serenade is really good kasi it counters most of what counters Sisay, which
oo.
is all of the
Creatures?
the bad artifacts.
Yes,
Graph Diggers, Curse Totem,
mm.
what was
Weathered
the other one?
Runestone.
Weathered Runestone, right?
Yes.
And then it also counters creatures, which is an opposition agent.
Yes, that is
So,
true.
yun talaga yung totoong purpose niya. I think when I added it in, the mindset was, fuck this, tong mga to, di ba?
Mm.
Parang, tangina, ano, in our playtesting, parang all three came out, parang mamatay-matay tayo doon sa game na yon. It was
Eto,
really tough for me.
Beshi, eto,
Ah.
ikaw, sisay ka, galit ka dun sa tatlong yun. Ano ba sa tingin mo yung mararamdaman ko, nakainalo ako? Not to mention, on top of those three things,
My
get
Dottie.
a dirty bird walker. What am I gonna do?
Yung itsura
Just kill
natin
me
nung game na yun,
now.
parang, so,
Oo.
I've come to realize, and I think that's what with playing with Reggie. Reggie's here, Parekoy. Welcome,
Shoutouts
thank you for
Boss
joining.
Reg.
And
Ayan.
that got me thinking, and that's the reason why I value our practices. And one of my preps has always been our spell table games with, with these folks like Reggie, Jugs, you, Eric, and these guys that Mick, Inigo, like these guys that have been, trying to at least try to perfect kung ano man yung meron ako. So,
Oo.
kaso, on my gold fishing, whenever I try to imagine what the board state would look like, I would always try to imagine, you know, I can I have other removals naman to take
Mm.
out those I've also included Cyclonic Rift recently, which is an end all be all na lang. Parang kumbaga, if kasi if I'm struggling to take out multiple items, then
You wipe
if
them all
the
out.
game went that long, I
Mm.
would have probably had 7 mana, and then I'll just bide my time, to try to get the perfect rift off. So,
Mm.
rift off. So, yun yung ano, yun yung plan ko. And then I still have my standard removal package, which is your swords, abrupt decay, soul partition, and into the flood mode, which also is a recent addition to this deck.
Mm.
So, yun yung plano ko. Parang sabi ko na lang, kaya ako binalik si Legolas Quick Reflexes for Strix Serenade kasi nga mas I think I would
Mas
want to react as a CC player rather than just proactively
be
wait for
proactive.
something.
Mm.
Rather or there are sometimes kasi na parang feeling ko dead card yun sa kamay ko.
Well,
Na parang
if you think
ipuput ko na
about
lang
it,
siya sa commander.
oo nga,
Okey.
if you think about it kasi, I think it's better din na meron kang protection instead of strict serenade kasi ang laking bagay din naman ng, Legolas quick reflexes for you, eh. Imagine there are some
Mm.
games na nagagamit mo siya as a removal din for some reason.
Oo, actually that's
'Di ba?
true.
So, I think it's better din kasi, yeah, we do have those games na merong, graph, merong weathered, merong curse totem. There's always a lot of games like that, especially like, right now na parang we're into the mid-range meta, I'm not really sure. Pero
Mhm,
based sa mga games ko parang usually papunta dun, eh. So, the longer the game is, so may mga chances diyan na sasagutan yung sisay mo. So,
yep.
especially if those stacks pieces are not in there or yung mga hate pieces wala dun. So, it's
Mhm,
better to have protection kasi kung hindi naman nila ilalaglag yung oppo nila, I doubt na i-strict serenade mo yung mga bagay-bagay na out of
yun
nowhere lang,
nga,
'di ba?
that's true and that was how I felt when I was gold fishing it and I'm trying to imagine on a tournament setting, um, na ang target ko lang naman talaga is opposition agent and if that doesn't come out, then it'll be targeting most probably commanders and
Mm.
sometimes there's not enough commanders na I think maybe Timnas very relevant,
Yes, that's true.
pero I think yun nga magiging ganun yung kamay ko na yun and Legolas quick reflexes, remember it untaps a creature, right? So I
Mhm.
can also use it if a bloom tender is being targeted to re-untap and tap it again for mana. Same goes with Boro or ano or si this guy si um
Si ano,
Selvala
Salvala,
or si
yes.
Giganta,
Oh,
right? Or for that matter.
Giganta,
So
oo.
So I opted to use that instead. It's been in my list since I started CSA. So parang iffy lang ako sa Strixhaven right now because I haven't been testing it as much as Legolas Quick Reflex.
Mm. Tsaka it's too
Uh,
I think it's, kumbaga we only have 1 week, right? So, parang
mhm.
yung testing period is hindi na siya gano'n karami in order for you to try
Yes,
it.
that's true. That's
Unlike
true. That's true.
Legolas, hindi naman for as long as you've been in CSay meron ka nun, eh. Pero I think matagal-tagal mo ng matagal-tagal ka
Matagal-tagal
ng
na.
may Legolas quick reflexes, 'di
Mm.
ba? So, I
Yep.
think it's, a comfort for you to have it versus if you have strict Serenade na hindi mo pa alam yung outcome, especially if there isn't a lot of games,
Mm.
from today until the next tournament.
Mm.
So, parang mahirap din siya.
The
So,
other the other
ayun.
thing that the other thing that
Mm.
I added for CSA here, if you've noticed, is Krelv Deflector Might.
Actually, I was about to ask that, but yeah, tell me about it.
So, it's your ano, eh, it's your Mother of Runes legendary. So,
Mm.
I've been looking for a card that can be at the one drop, for a long time now. I think Tiny Bones you see Tiny Bones, the new one from OTJ, was one
Oo.
in my list. I think the K9 Mark 5 yata yun, ano pangalan nun? K9 Mark 1,
Okey.
was also in my list. And siguro naghanap lang ako ng other one drop that's legendary that can be helpful in a setting. So I was browsing through some of the lists from EDH Top 16 and then I saw Skrill. Which is I think is okay, right? Kasi it helps you protect the stuff that you have on board, especially if you have it out early. Plus, since I've added I added what I borrowed you, Essica. Si Essica
Mm.
got. God of the Tree, it can also serve as a
Dork.
dork if needed. So
Mhm.
parang naisip ko lang na parang it will be a good one drop moving forward. So I'm actually adding it in. I've actually also added back Lavinia. Yung isa.
Wait lang, doon muna tayo kay 12. Medyo
Sige, sige.
okay siya. What I like about it is the Pyrexian man activation lang,
Yes, that's
'di
true.
ba? So, yeah, if you compare it with the Mother of Runes is still
Eh, just
better,
tap, just tap,
right?
right?
Definitely. Pero kasi for this one, it's a legendary creature which you care about. And at
Mm-mm.
the same time, ayun nga, additional siya kay Sisay kasi hindi naman binibilang ni Sisay yung sarili niya as white, kailangan other, 'di
Mm-mm.
ba? So it's an
Yes.
additional. Then ayun nga, yung protection which is helpful. Tapos
Mm.
Lavinia again,
Ay,
why?
kay Lavinia. Maganda kasi yung ano, art ko ng Lavinia.
Yung chibi ba 'to?
Hindi, hindi. So,
Mm.
actually, I'm also looking for another 2 drops. So, there were some na I was looking for. The other one was ano eh, Goro Goro. Ryu,
Yung sa ano 'to, 'di ba? Neo, right?
yeah,
Yung
that one for
naglalabas
me.
ng dragon?
That's
I
correct.
forgot
Pero
the
it has ano, it has a activated ability that can um grant your creatures haste for 1 red. So that was the other one.
Hmm.
Pero yun nga parang I've been looking at 1 and 2 drops kasi medyo convoluted yung 3 and 4 drops ko eh in
Mm,
my list. So I wanted to move my curve a little bit down to 1, 2, and 3. So, dun ako nagdadagdag ng ng legendary. So,
mm.
wala akong mahanap, eh, na gusto ko so far and in the last tournaments naman, Lavinia kinda helped me based on, kinda did. Pero kasi nga may ano kasi yun, eh, kaya medyo on the fence pa ako kasi yung Lavinia kasi can also help others. Baka kasi dahil dun matalo pa kami. Unlike
Ah,
Boromir that does the same
Puwede mong
effect, but
i-pop,
you can
yes.
yes, you can sacrifice it.
Mm.
Lavinia just stays there, right? Pero it
Naalala
can cripple some decks like Crick.
naalala mo
Like
yung ano, yung last
go ahead.
tournament natin, it was Lavinia as well, right?
Mm.
Not the last
The last
67-50 tourney, the third quarter,
yeah,
67. It was Lavinia and a counter spell, right? The one that you
oo.
chose.
Yes, just to stop people. So,
Oo.
parang
Mm,
I think that can help kasi if, for example, I noticed that everybody's tapped out, 'di ba?
mm.
So if everybody's tapped out, I put down a Lavinia, it's like a silence effect, biglang silence
In a
effect siya,
way,
right?
yes,
So,
oo.
oo. So, parang gano'n ko na lang siya tinitingnan rather kasi hindi rin ako gusto ko sana maglagay ng Grand Abolisher, pero it's not legendary, so it's not helping my cause. So, I would rather kasi the struggle that I've been facing lately is been trying to get Sisay to +3,
Mm,
+4. So, naisip ko yun na lang muna
hmm.
ilagay ko. So,
I was thinking about the Myrel, pero 4 CMC pala yun si Myrel.
Myrel is like 4 CMC.
Yeah, it is 4 CMC,
It's
so
too
it's
big for
hard. Uh,
too it's too it's too big for me.
it's too big for you. So thick.
Alam mo naman tayo, Asian tayo, bro. Kailangan average to mid-size
Easy,
na.
easy, easy, easy. Okay, moving forward, I do have a question about the Essica. Well, eto ano lang 'to question, hindi siya bakit siya nasa deck. Is there a time where you cast the backside of Esika? Like ano pangalan nito?
I did
The
once in the
prismatic
tournament,
branch.
the
How did it
prismatic
go?
bridge.
I'm
I
just
did that. I did that
curious.
in the last tournament I joined, yung TG event. I casted the backside.
Ah,
Kasi it's a really good backside. If you've noticed, it actually helps me out a lot. Eh. Kasi at my upkeep, it will reveal a library until you reveal a creature or planeswalker. So it's like
oo.
free casting, eh, right?
Mm.
And that's a put trigger, meaning
Yeah.
I don't cast it. It's just for free. For free.
Oo.
So yun yung ano ko, I tried it plus it's 5 colors. So automatic plus 5 si CC.
Oo
So
nga
I
'no?
tried it pero it's scary. It's really scary for the table to ano. So when I casted it last time, na-counter siya agad.
It
Pero
didn't
like
resolve,
didn't resolve it. But the intent was there. I think there are gonna be times that I'll be casting the backside, especially if I'm already heavy on mana and I don't really need additional mana on the front side of
hmm,
Essica. So plus lalo na kapag nahihirapan na akong mag-advance ng board. So, I've tried it. So far, once pa lang naman pero na-counter eh. So I can't say
na-counter.
anything much about it during that
Well,
moment. It's a scary
abangan.
backside. I mean, boom.
It
Diba? It's
is,
boom.
right? Oo, it is. Kaya nga I'm just curious eh, kasi I remembered nung mga casual ko, gusto kong gumawa nitong deck na 'to.
Mm.
However, ang problema ko kasi takot akong mag more than 3 colors. Hindi ko
Ako
alam
din eh.
kung bakit. Well, you have CSAY, so technically you're not. Eh, ako wala naman akong 5 color deck eh. So,
Well, true. That's
parang
true. That's true.
naisip ko lang, is there ever a time na ikakas mo siya? Then what's gonna happen next? That's the question.
It's a,
Pero hindi.
uh,
Oo. So, another thing here, may green sun ka rin dito 'no?
Oo, nagdagdag ako ng Green Sun Zenith.
Bago 'to, right?
I took out my Imperial Seal
Mm,
for a Green Sun Zenith. I think the thought process here is that um, it gets most of my dorks into play immediately, right? For one green and then their CMC. So majority of what I need is in green. Favor Elder, Bloom Tender, um,
Selvala.
Selvala, Giganta, Kutsil, Derevi, all of these major players for my deck are actually green. So it's a good way just to bring it back. And then worst comes to worst, I can pop it for 2 and get like Delighted Halfling into play.
I see. Okay. Well, if sabi mo nga, the thought process is basically most of the key items or the key cards on your deck are green creatures. So
Mm,
definitely I agree na mag-green sun ka na lang versus Imp Seal. Hindi mo na kailangan
mm.
hintayin, right?
Yep.
So yun. I think konti na lang din yung
I don't
28 lands. It's the same stuff, right?
Yep. So I think there hasn't been much change. I think the only feeling that I'm struggling with right now is with Sisei's, the way our testing has been working, right? So I've been
Mm,
playing Sisei a lot since the last tourney that we've had, and I have been struggling with that deck. I think maybe kasi nga nagbago yung playstyle and I feel like everybody's adapting to the deck.
mm,
And syempre, everybody's known me na for the past few months that I've been using this deck. So, syempre,
mm,
prepared na rin yung mga tao. And with that preparation, parang nahihirapan akong manalo recently. So, that's the
mm,
reason why I have this identity crisis. Kasi,
mm.
um, and I think this is a good segue to the next portion of this,
Yes. So let's talk about your
so,
the other part of the spectrum, which is
oo,
Kinan, right?
that's correct.
So, so tell
Um,
me about this tech.
So
Give me
actually,
a
again, I'll put the history down, no, with
yes,
my history
yes,
in this
please.
deck. So,
Uh,
Kennen is my second love eh, in CEDH. My first love was Kirk Sakashima. For everybody that knows me, that's currently who played me since I started playing CEDH, everybody knows that I start
played with you.
in played with me. Oh, nagustuhan naman nila, natuwa naman sila. So, I think everybody had fun. Shout out
Okay,
sa'yo,
okay.
Mick, nandito ka. Ikasama ka doon, the one who played with me.
I was there when it happened.
Good good evening,
Good
good
evening.
evening, Boss
Good
Mick.
evening.
Nga pala, since we're shouting out people, I wanna give the shout out to Mac as well. Happy birthday, Mac. He's in here.
Happy birthday, Mac.
So,
I
yun.
see Kira as well. Hello, Kira. And then we have Mick that just joined. Hello. So,
Going
so
back,
yun nga,
yes.
going
Mm-mm.
back, I think in terms of my history with Kark Sakashima was my first love. And then syempre I got tired of flipping coins every game and then losing the flip. I started to build Kenan.
So, wait lang. Before we go to your Kina. So, you got tired of flipping. You flipped already, no? Decklists lang.
Ako na mismo yung tumambling, punyeta. Hindi
Iya
ako
ko na be,
nananalo eh.
iya ko na be. Control mo pa. Okay, so you went to Kinan then?
So I went to Kenan. So Kenan was my second CEDH, which is my second love for seed, yung second love na deck ko. So when I built Kenan, sobrang nung time na yon, it was top 4, top 5 in the meta. I was really happy with it. I was using some form of the go big big flips na
Mm.
Kenan. Pero my build was a little bit uh more heavy on artifact tutors than usual and lighter on the creature side. So, pero there hasn't been nung time na yun hindi pa ako masyadong nagto-tourneys.
Okay.
Pero yun na yung deck ko talaga na talagang pina-practice ko if ever I went into a tourney. In terms of tournament experience, I only had one tournament experience using Kenan. Um, and my result was, I think I was 14th or 16th out of 24. Parang gano'n. So it wasn't really good. So, but I continued to play with the Kenan deck until I built Sisay, which became my main deck moving forward. So,
Mm.
um, pero yon I think, nakabuo pa rin siya and it continues to be my number 2 deck, that I go to. If there's any, if I wanna play patagal umay kay Sisay.
Naalala ko,
So,
Beshi.
yon.
Bigyan ko lang
Ah,
din ng context. So, it was the year 2024. First quarter CEDH 6750 tourney. So,
oh
back
crap! I
then,
did play that.
wait
Yung
lang. Wait, let me finish. Let
yung
me finish. So, last year kasi I was in hiatus, so I didn't have anything. Then, nung binilan ako ng kapatid ko ng Wilds of the Eldraine, yung fairy deck, I was like,
mm,
probably it's time for me to get back. So
mm,
I upgraded it the way I thought it should be
mm,
upgraded. Then, sabi ni Lo, meron niyang first quarter CEDH tourney. Sabi
mm.
ko, sige, laro ako. Pero I don't have the pieces for Dimir pieces. So, kulang yung mga Thassa's Oracle and etc. Sabi ko, mukhang hindi ako aabot. Pero meron akong Prosh deck. Baka pwede. Kasi high-powered naman yun eh. May mga
Corvold,
rocks. Wait
Prosh.
lang, let me finish.
Sige, sige,
Kwento
sige.
ko to eh. Kwento ko to, di ba?
Sorry, 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 sorry.
So, ayun nga. So, I have a Frost deck. Meron naman siya mga rocks, then food chain deck siya. Sabi ko, mukhang kakarga naman. However, sabi ko, parang mahina naman yung Corebold. Ano, yung Frost, makapag-Corebold nga. So, nag-Corebold ako nun.
Hmm.
Then, eto na, the tournament came. My first round was you, Alexis, and I forgot the other one eh. I forgot the other one. Basta three of us. Then I was like, I don't know correct me if I'm wrong. Was it turn two Corvold
Turn 2
for me?
Corvold.
Turn two
Turn 2
Corvold,
kasi
right?
you were early on turn order, tas I came after you.
Di ba?
Parang after you, ako yata, yung turn order.
So I was so confident. It's like, oh crap, here we go. Then, pagdating sa turn mo, the turn I casted Corvold, kinasan mo ko ng Gilded Ray.
Welcome to the club, kid.
Welcome back, bitch! Ganun yung nangyari. So, after nun, wala na. Long story short, tumanga na lang ako afterwards nun. So, literal
Nanalo ako sa round
na,
na yun, nanalo ako sa round na yun.
yeah, you won that round nga. Hindi mananalo. Meron kang core ball. Meron kang keenan sa fields. Wala.
Sobrang legit din eh. I think
May-
ano 'no, parang, that's the first time I met Echo. I think he
Mm-mm.
just came back from hiatus nga. Tapos he played with yun nga, he played with Corvold or he used Corvold as his deck. And during the mulligans, sabi ko, "Shit, alam ko yung Corvold." Tapos nung nakita ko meron akong Gilded Drake sa kamay, sige tingnan natin kung ibababa niya ng maga yung ano, yung Corvold niya. Lo and behold, second turn, binaba niya yung corvo niya. In my mind, "Pakyo ka." Akin yan.
Here's the thing, I don't know shit back then. I was like, what am I doing here? It's like naglaro lang ako just because I wanna get back. Pero
Mm.
it's a good thing that happened as well kasi it opened my eyes na, nope, you cannot do just this. Do whatever you need to do. So ayun
So
na.
actually I did well in that. I think in the first quarter tournament, I think I was third. Um, so I did really well. I think ayun pala, meron pala akong magandang outing. We were at 28 players on our first quarter tournament, like 30,
That I'm
30,
not
30
sure
plus.
kasi after what you did to me, I dropped out eh.
Sorry na. Sorry na.
Hindi mo
Pero
medyo na-trauma ako nun, eh, kasi after nun dun ko binuo yung Zur, 'di ba? Sabi ko, ayoko na nito, ayoko na nito be."
Pero yun nga,
So,
that's when we started our Discord channel, and then you started playing your Zur, and I remember we were
oo.
talking about it here. Pero yun nga, I think going back to our topic, I think during that time, that was my main deck. That was the first quarter. I really loved Kenan. Kaso, every time that parang after nun, every time I put out Kenan, people would kill it. They'll have an
Mhm.
REB, Pyroblast ready for it. So I was really having trouble with Kenan. Plus, Dockside was super prevalent.
Yes.
And dahil heavy ako on artifacts, ang bagsak, nagpapapanalo lang ako ng Dockside decks. So, parang since I wasn't running a dockside deck, I decided to build Sisay, which was a dockside deck.
Mm.
So, parang I didn't wanna go Blue Farm, I didn't wanna go, Grixis, parang I just wanted a different dockside deck, which became Sisay. So, during that time, I still built Kenan. Every now and then, I still update it. I built it. I still love that deck. And hindi ko naman siya binaklas at all. Actually, yung third deck ko
Mhm.
yung laging napapalitan. I also only
Karonsay.
maintain I only maintain 3 decks. So, yung third deck ko, laging yun yung kung ano yung flavor of the month ko. So,
Yeah.
pero on this one, actually, ang pangalan ng deck na 'to, and this is the first time that we're gonna be discussing this deck on stream, is
Okey.
Ding ang Bato.
Bakit ba ding ang bato?
Kasi
Kasi
nga
ang
si Da
sige, sige. Kasi si ano, si
'di
Darna.
ba, si Darna, na kanino ba yung bato? Eh, 'di ba na kay Ding? Oh, ano ba yung bato? Yung basat mo ano ulit. Oh, 'di ba?
Ah,
'Di ba? Oh, Ding ang Bato. So,
okey, okey.
um, that's the name of the deck. Um And basically, I made a few modifications on the deck recently. So,
Mm.
and this is ano no, this list is dedicated to John Francis. Oh, ayan.
Yun, shout out Sir John, our
So,
Keenan player.
so he's our Kenan player also in our play group, and I told him that I'll be posting the new iteration of my Kenan deck, which is now live on my Mox field. So, I made a few modifications on the deck. I added some new items from MH3. I added items from um,
That's more.
Bloomborough. Did I add anything?
Yeah, you have that's more cards.
Yeah, I
Correct.
did.
Mm.
So let's start with some of the changes. What do you know? Sige nga pare ko, what did you notice?
Well, the first one is an all-star in a Keenan deck, which is Enduring Vitality.
So I think this is an easy auto include.
Mhm.
Majority of the Canon decks that are running right now is Enduring Vitality, and this makes everything a dork. It's 3 CMC, and then if it dies, it just becomes an enchantment that still gives everybody the same ability.
It's the
So,
same stuff, right?
uh,
Mm.
so it's a really good include, and I've added it when it came out, pero it hasn't really come out just
Mhm.
yet from the deck. So kaya hindi ko pa siya na-test ng ganun ka no, pero on my gold fishing on the deck, whenever it comes out, it just gives a lot of mana to Kinan. Kasi nga, there are some na katulad ng iba pang addition ko, which was Polywog Prodigy
Mm-mm.
from Bloomborough, na does nothing. Just trigger, it's a triggered ability that it has. Pero when it's there, it becomes a dork. So, it's really good. I've been loving it so far in my testing. Um, Parang it just feels natural in a Kinan deck.
Mm-mm. Eto pa,
So,
meron pang bago.
ano
Nakita ko
yan?
rin. Hydroelectric specimen.
That came from MH3.
Exactly.
Um, so I added two from a MH3, which is Sink into Stupor, and then Hydroelectric Specimen, which are actually just lands. Most of the time, if you've noticed, I only run 25 lands in this deck.
Mm-mm.
With two MDFCs, which is a Hydroelectric Specimen. So, and Sing into Stupor. So, if worst comes to worst, I can flip that card, take three, and it becomes, mana, an island mana producing mana, or a blue producing mana. Pero, maganda rin siyang protection. So, or interaction. So, Hydroelectric Specimen is a spell kite that is instant speed. That, or well, technically on a stick.
Mm-mm.
Na it can redirect targets of instants and sorcery to itself.
Removals, right? Mm-mm.
So for anything that you might wanna if something happens to your Kenan, it can save your Kenan in a pinch.
Mm-mm.
So pero it's mostly a land that you can use. And then you have Sink into Stupor, which is an auto include in blue decks nowadays. Which is just
Mm-mm.
return target spell to owner's hand or return target creature. So
It's
it's
also
both
a
strong.
land.
It's also a land. So it's both strong, especially for a deck that only runs 25 lands, 27 in total with their MDFCs.
Mm, with MDFCs, right? So
Mm,
without it's 25, 27 with
mm.
MDFCs. I did notice here yung I think bago lang din to eh, yung devoted machine gods effigy na combo, right?
So
This is
this is not
just a new
common.
addition. Yeah, it's a
That's
new
correct.
addition for you. So tell me your thought process about it.
So actually, I actually just added it. Parang I didn't want to rely too much on activations or big creatures or flips. So parang I also wanted Kanan to be a little bit proactive. And with Devoted Druid already being a dork, and a
Mm-mm.
repeatable dork, no, at least, di ba?
Mm-mm.
If I need a burst of mana, that's 4 mana kasi that Devoted Druid can make if Kinan is there in a
Yeah.
pinch, right? So, um, parang naisipan ko na magdagdag ng isa pang infinite mana combo. And ang maganda rin kasi dahil majority of, if you've noticed, marami akong artifact tutors,
Mm-mm.
I can get Machine God effigy really easily. Marami rin akong creature tutors which can also get Devoted Druid really easily.
Yes.
So, parang I wanted to add something that would be different, no, on my list. Kasi siyempre, if you've noticed, EDH Top 16, di ba? I know Ian, which is very popular streamer, just won
Mm-mm.
with Kanan recently. Pero I
Yes.
didn't want to just copy his list and then just play it, right? So I did
Mm-mm.
check out what he added. Pero I wanted my own spin on it. So this is my spin. I think I just wanted to add one more. And the good thing about this one kasi parang it produces green and blue.
Yes.
So, kahit nawala si Kinan, pag nagawa ko yung Devoted Druid na combo and just create infinite green and blue, I can just recast Kinan and then win the game from there.
Spin, yes. Spin from there, right?
So, spin from there. So, parang that's the other thing about it. Kasi nga, in my last iteration of the deck, sabi ko nga sa'yo, nahirapan ako kasi pinapatay lang si Kinan. Then that's it.
Mm-mm.
And then, so I just wanted to take that out kasi since Dockside is already banned, I'm no longer afraid of putting down my
Mana rocks.
mana rocks. And now the only problem is Kanan staying alive. So I wanted a something that is not very reliant on Kanan. So that's my addition. Yun yung reason ko kung ba't ko siya inad. And so far, gusto ko siya kasi ang maganda sa Machine God's Effigy, it can copy any creature. So, pag may OBM na yun ang weakness ko pa, 'di ba?
Yes, that
Eh
is
di
true.
kunin
Oo.
ko na lang yung OBM, packset siya.
Forever OBM 'to, boy, nagiging
Ah,
mana. Oh,
oo,
ano
'di ba?
silbi ng ano mo, anong pangalan nito, impostor mech mo? Sa'kin nagiging mana.
Oo, yung sa'kin nagta-tap for mana, packset.
Oo, that is
So,
true, right? Oo.
yun yung naging reasoning ko behind it. I think, it's countering majority of what I want, and it can be independent of Kanan. So plus I can get it with Moon Silver Key. Yun pa yung isa doon. Kasi it's an artifact that has a mana ability. So yung Moon
Oh,
Silver Key kaya niyang
yeah.
kunin yun, right? So in a pinch that can happen. Tapos it also synchronizes well with or synergizes well with Valley Flood Caller. Kasi it's an artifact, not a creature, so I can do that in flash speed. So, ayun, ang daming I think, when I tested it, it was really fine. I really liked it a lot. So,
Did,
it felt
did
more,
sorry,
it felt
sorry.
more
Sorry.
natural to me. Go.
Yeah, sorry to cut you off. On your games yesterday, did it presented itself?
They did not presented, I think in one of the games that we had with Efren, which is
Mm.
Kasalanan 666, he's not here right now.
Shoutouts.
There was a time where we did all of that instant speed. Do you recall?
Oh, yeah,
Parang
yeah. It was the other day. It was
it was
other
the
night,
other day.
yeah.
This guy was
Mm.
playing Rogue Trashos and he was really good at it. Tapos he presented a win on his turn by
Which you
uh
responded to, right?
yeah, which I responded to by casting, I think Machines Got Effigy, and then there was an interaction kasi he had devoted Druid already. Tapos he was gonna artifact tutor for his Machines Got Effigy.
Mm.
So since I already have Valley Flood Caller in the on play, I responded with trying to win on his win attempt, on top of his win attempt. Actually, ganda nung interaction natin noon. Unfortunately, I didn't win. Efren did win. I lost
Yeah.
I lost our counter war. Pero it was a good try. I think it did nung games last Saturday, it did not present itself, but nakuha ko yung Machines Got Effigy and I was able to copy something relevant on the board. I forgot what it was,
Mhm.
pero that's where I
Probably an
find
OBM again.
Oo,
Probably an
that's what I
OBM.
found out na parang, this can be more than just a dream. No? So, it was more
Correct.
so it was more than just a copy like Pyrexian Metamorph. It's also a dork. So
Mm.
I find it good. I think so far I've been liking it in my testing. So ayun, yun lang yung masasabi ko dun sa combo na yun.
Okay. So, in terms of your list naman, there's really not a lot of things that were changed in your Keenan list as far as
Mm,
I can tell. So, let's talk about this. So, you have your identity crisis ko anong dadalhin natin, right? So, let's talk
mm.
about the pros and cons. So, ano bang
Sige.
let's talk about CSA
Yan.
first. The
Yan, gusto ko yan.
give me three pro na tingin mo pwede mong dalhin yung CSA because of those pros. What do you think?
For CSA, siyempre it's experience. I think yun
Mm.
ang battle hardened ko na deck. I think in terms of my tournament winnings and my tournament standings, that is my most uh that is my most tenured deck on my CEDH career, at least on tournaments.
Okay.
That's my number one for that deck. I think it's a creature heavy deck which continues to be hard to play around with because there's not a lot of creature counters.
Yeah.
Um, in the meta, it's more or less non-creatures that you can need to
Mm.
counter. And then lastly, it goes around Ristic Study kasi I don't cast a lot. I just tutor a lot.
Yes.
So, yun
Mm-mm.
talaga yung main strengths ng CSA. Continues to be even without dark side. Siguro yun yung masasabi ko in terms of the pros.
Okay.
Now, if go ahead.
Cons. Yeah,
Cons tayo,
so
cons.
let's talk
Ito na
about
yung
the
cons.
cons naman. Yes, kasi definitely malalaman natin yung pros and cons ng dalawang deck. Then probably we can compare so that you can make up your mind
Mm.
for the next week, right? So yeah, cons.
So the cons here is that I died to opposition agent, which is I
Mm.
think everybody's running right now.
So let's
So
just put in there the opposition agents and the three usual suspects, right?
so which is your graph,
Mm.
your opposition
Curse
agent,
totem
your curse totem, and then
and
your
weathered runestone.
weathered runestone. In fairness,
Mm-mm.
for graph, I can get that. I can get around it. I can win around graph diggers. It's a struggle sometimes to get around
Curse
get
totem.
around curse totem. Yun yung dun talaga ako nahihirapan kasi majority of the stuff that I have is activated abilities. I think that's the struggle that I'm facing right now.
Mm-mm.
The other one or another con that I can say is that although it has been my best and my 10 best in terms of standings deck,
Mm-mm.
that was when Darkside was around.
Oh,
So
okay.
now that it's a newer deck, it's a little bit slower. It's slower than your other decks that you're fighting in the meta, which is Rogsai, Trashos,
TNK, of course.
TNK, and then uh your odd ano ba bang meta ngayon?
Creek? No, not
Yeah,
really.
maybe. Well, but
Uh,
in
but
your
we've
usual
yeah.
meta,
Mm-mm.
the two team na decks, right? The two team na
Mm-mm.
decks that you currently have, which is
Team na
the biggest, plus
Trashos.
Rogsai. There you go, the third one. Team na Trashos, team na Chrome, and
Rogue
Rogsai.
side.
And
Yes.
it's a little bit slower than those. So sometimes your mulligans can be a little bit tricky, and you end up tutoring for interaction, or sometimes talagang uh, mas mabilis lang talaga sila. So sometimes you have to rely on your politics and your discussions around the table
Mm-mm.
to try to get around these kinds of decks.
Okay.
And then the last one, I think is more of ano lang talaga. Is
Like the feel of it, like using it sa
Yeah,
ngayon.
it's
Uh,
super. You can although it has instant speed wins, which is really good.
mm-mm.
Pero sometimes you can see it a mile away. The problem.
Okay.
It's now more of a setup deck.
Okay. Mm-mm.
And it when it presents red flags immediately
Mm-mm.
when certain cards are down. So
That is
yun
true.
yung problem ko sa kanya. I think and that's the reason why I've been struggling trying to win with it. And syempre I've been playing with I feel like some of the best guys that I play with in CDH. So syempre I'm talking about, Jugs, Mick, um I feel like hihirapan talaga ako. Yun talaga yun.
Mm. Maybe it's because of familiarity then kasi like what you mentioned, in terms of the practices that we have din naman, laging-lagi rin naman tayo yung magkakalaban.
It's
Sometimes
true.
parang minsan pagka napapad tayo ng tournament, tayo dapat nag-spell table na lang tayo guys. It's same
Oo.
stuff, right? Yeah, let's
Move
talk
to
about your Kanan this time.
Keenan.
So,
I think the same
pros.
strengths are there, right? The same strengths are
Mhm.
there.
Yeah, definitely
Uh
experience, correct, right?
Experience, I've used this deck a lot. So I'm very familiar with it. It's just like riding a bike. I haven't played it for a while, pero now that I'm playing it again, it just feels right. It is faster kasi I can still win at turn 3, turn 2 with this deck. Pero it has limited instant win decks. So,
Mm-mm.
pero malakas siya. Number one, creature heavy. So majority of my deck is creatures. It's hard to counter.
Mm-mm.
Um, Number two, I think since the meta has slowed down, Kanan still kept its space in terms of mana producing.
Mm-mm.
So if there's nothing to do, you can spin until you win it. So
I think
Um,
in terms of the mana producing of Kinan, I believe the last time that we played na nakakinan ka, you had 7 mana on turn 2, right? Oh,
I've seen worse. John
ano to?
Francis on Saturday game had turned to Void Winnower, which and still had one extra mana.
Hard cash ba
That's
yun?
10. That's 10 freaking mana in turn 2.
Holy
So,
shit! What are we
uh,
doing?
so again, in terms of I think in terms of sheer power in mana producing, I think Kenan is king or prince kasi he's just a kid. Pero ang medyo malakas siya, malakas. I think I still feel that it's really strong.
Mm,
And I think the third one would be um I guess kasi with the sheer uh abundant of just Kanan is really easy to cast and your abundant amount of mana parang getting around killing Kanan or killing anything just it's easy just to recast.
mm.
So just retry next turn cycle. Plus I think interaction mas interaction
Packages.
heavy ako dito sa deck na to rather
Yeah,
than
that
the
is
other one.
true. That kasi sa CSA, right? Kasi for
Mm.
CSA, you have to cover most of the most of the things. Kasi 5 colors ka. Unlike for
Oo.
Kinan that you only have 2 colors. So definitely interaction is much more higher compared to what we have for CSA. How about the funds for Kinan though?
I think dahil nanalo yung may sikat na nanalo sa kanya recently, it's gonna be the most watched deck, maybe.
Oh, yeah, that is
Uh,
true.
the
Mm-mm.
other one would be again, Kinnan is easy to counter. If you know the deck, it's gonna be easy to counter. It has the same weaknesses as say Graph, uh,
Curse totem.
Course Totem. It has the
Weather
same
Doomstone.
it's the same weaknesses.
Mm.
Which
It
is I
get
have to
it
play
gets
around it.
past get past opposition agent kasi you don't
That's
search
true.
na.
That's the only thing I doesn't get past. Opposition agent doesn't matter, right? So,
Mm.
yun lang yung it has the same stuff. And then, syempre, I don't have very recent tenure or experience with Kanan. I think that's the third one. I think, I for the past, few months, again, half a year, I've been using CSA. So, going back to Kenan, although sabi ko nga it's like riding a bike, syempre, I haven't tested it with the current meta. Meaning, I've been playing with it with the previous meta when everything was around. Now, the new meta is a little bit changed. Everybody's trying out new stuff. I haven't really tested it as much as I wanted to. So, if I'm going there using Kenan, I'll be parang on-the-job training yung mangyari sa akin. So,
Parang no, na-rehire ka.
na-rehire lang ako. Which is
I know what
okay.
to do,
Again,
but things have changed.
I think those are the three main cons with it.
Mm.
So,
Okay. So, with that being said, we have already established the pros and cons for both decks. What do you think is going to be your final choice in terms of what you want to bring? Kasi technically, you have experience with both decks, right? Pero,
yeah.
I don't want to make the decision for you, but I kind of have something on my mind. Pero I'll just say it later. Tika, what do you
Sige,
think?
ako muna. I think right now, I'm leaning towards Kinan. Siguro mga 60-40.
60-40.
Right. I think a little nudge. I think the only thing keeping me back is that I don't have transmute artifact. And I have to replace that with a different card. And yun yung reason kung ba't hindi ko siya malaro completely. And sometimes kasi when I know that I can't have that additional oomph or just the most optimized deck list that I want, sometimes it becomes an itch na yun yung nagiging kaya ako natalo eh. Alam mo yun? And I don't
Ah,
want that feeling. And that's the only reason that's keeping me from playing this deck right now.
mm.
Kaya that's 60-40. Again,
Okay.
with the new additions to my Say deck, I still feel more confident with that. So, kumbaga, onting kibot lang baka malipat ako sa CC. Kumbaga.
Ah, okay. So, sabi ko nga sa'yo, I have my thoughts. So,
Oo.
ganito yan eh.
Mm.
So, sa kinaluna tayo. I think you're more inclined to use Kinan because you're excited to use it.
Mm.
Okay, so you said na baka matalo ako kasi wala akong transmute artifact eh. If you notice, kanina napag-usapan natin, the first quarter CEDH tourney, there were top sides, there were mana crypts, but you still got third or at least top four,
Oo.
top eight,
Third
right?
ako nun kasi naalala ko si Kester. Shoutout sa kanya kung nasaan man siya. Kusang lupalop ka man
Shoutouts.
na dala, pero
Ah,
siya yung second nun, tas ako yung third. I think yun yung
Oo.
ano eh, yun yun kaya yun yun eh, naalala ko na.
Okay. So yun, no, 'di ba? Third ka. So there was dark sides, there was mana crypts pa nun.
Si Jugs ang
So
nag-champion yun,
and
si Jugs ang
yeah, ay si Jeff nga nag-champion nun. And at the same time, wala ka rin man transmit artifact yata nung game na yun.
hindi meron. We're all 100% proxies during that time.
Meron din. Okay, so
So, ano, well, every tournament naman natin, we don't care about proxies, we care
yeah,
about maximum level CEDH, eh.
Pero were
So,
you able to use ano ba, transmute nung game na yung mga games mo
hindi
nun?
hindi
Oh, 'di
rin,
ba?
eh.
So it's the same shit.
It's just
So
I
my
mean, just
argument
having the option
wait
siguro.
lang. My argument is not invalid kasi hindi mo naman nagamit eh.
You're true, that's right.
Oh, 'di ba?
And then
So
that's the reason why I'm still
mm,
inclined to use Kanan.
mm,
Kasi nga, even in my testing and even in our games yesterday, We're of the one that I replaced it with Weir of Invention.
mm.
And Weir of Invention only came out once. And it was already a long game to a point that it did not matter.
Mm,
So I guess you're right. I think that's my reasoning behind it. I feel
mm.
like
Yung
I might
excitement
be
kasi, what I'm
more
thinking,
excited.
yung excitement and on the other hand, you can also play Sisig kasi you have the most experience there. And at the same
Mm.
time, there are a lot of things din na kaya mo pang ilusot pag nagsisig ka.
Yun
So,
nga eh. Actually, when I
mm,
was goldfishing sisay din kanina, ang smooth yung bagong build. I feel
mm,
like, well, it still feels the same way. I still know what to get, what my mulligans would look like against the people that I play with. So I feel like parang kasi nga because of my experience, it just feels natural to use that. So yun,
mm.
parang nandun kaya ngayon sa totoo lang 60, ngayon nga dahil nag-usap tayo 55-45.
55-45. Well, at the end of the day, ikaw naman bahala diyan. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, your choice bro. Pero nonetheless, kahit naman anong daling mo diyan, the 6750 folks are behind every people that are part of the 6750 team that will be competing on that tournament naman.
Mm.
So, kung ano man piliin mo diyan, suportahan ka namin, ge.
Thank you, thank you. So for the guys that are listening or watching, let me know what do you guys think in terms of what do you think I should play or what do you think would be the best deck that I bring to this tournament. So just let me know. Let's have a conversation down in the comment section. How about so yun. Ego, what do you think? Let's close this one out. I think
Sure,
ngayon undecided pa
undecided
rin
pa rin
ako.
tayo, pero definitely makukuha naman natin 'yan. Eventually, you'll figure it out kasi you still
Mm.
have, quite a bit of time. So, make it quick lang, 'di naman sa pine-pressure kita, pero
Oo nga, eh,
so
kailangan ko na
oo,
mag-send ng decklist, yun yung problem ko.
oo, 'di ba? So, siguro toss coin na lang. Anyway, so yeah, I'd like to make another special shout out sa supporter ng podcast natin, which is Rule of Law. So again, kung ano mang format yan, sa Rule of Law meron yan. Dibs proper, dibs moderately, all right?
Dibs lang
And
ng
yeah,
dibs, huwag kayong makinig diyan. Dibs lang ng dibs.
okay. So thank you so much for listening and watching. You can find us at Voice of Yao Yao on YouTube, and also please like the video, share, and if you have anything, again, let's make up yung decision ni Alex. Just comment on the comment section below. All right.
Alright, thanks. Thanks to everybody that tuned in, sa mga kasama natin sa Discord ngayon, and thanks everybody. Next week
All
again.
right. Ciao, ciao.